Oh boy. All right. Well, it looks like we are live. However, we're having camera issues. Not sure why we're having camera issues. I'm going to do my best. Let me see what we can do here. No, we can take that out of there. So we cancel that. We're not adding anything. Um, well, boy, I tell you, this has been a week of challenges when it comes to technology. So we're just going to roll on with the time frame because I promised that I would be here live at 7 p.m. I'm here a little late, coming off of a coaching call, but I'm here nonetheless. As we are, I just want to welcome you. I am Tia Rodgers, the Life Growth Specialist. Take care of your health, save, invest, and grow your startup business mentor. And this is Winning Life and Winning Business, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you for tuning in. And again, my apologies for the technical difficulties that we're having. So, as we're going into this evening, we're talking about preparing for uh, personal growth and transformation in our lives. And as we are going through, navigating through life on life terms, right? Um, Looking at where we are, look, looking at where it is that we want to go to, and what are the gaps in between, whether it is finances, whether it's becoming a better communicator, whether it's becoming more caring, whether it's taking care of our health to become better individuals. Um, Whatever the area is that you feel as though that you need to become better, is what we're focusing on. We're treating the whole person, the holistic. We have to get to the root of the problem in order to solve the problem. But in solving the problem, we have to take care of the whole person, right? So when you talk about the concept of wearing two crowns, right? Because we all, in some sense, I like to say, we are royalty. We are born um, in a life of abundance, uh, according to biblical texts, if you want to look at it that way. Um, it's all in your mind perception, how you perceive life, where you are at in your life, where do you see yourself going, and what type of life do you really want to live? What does your life mean to you? And what has life shown you thus far? And how have you navigated through those experiences to become better? That 1.1, that 1.6181 steps at a time. Um, we're going to look at the first crown as representing the life that we inherit, right? We're born into this world. Our parents bring us into this world, and depending upon where they are in their lives, so are we. And based off of the knowledge that they have, and the age that they were when they had us, is all that's going to factor in to how we are raised, how we're developed, what messages we receive along the journey, and how we perceive life, right? Because they say we raise our children the way that we were raised, pretty much. So that's our first crown. Is the first crown in which we are inherited through our DNA, through the people that birth us, raise us, love us, nurture us, and guide us through. And the second crown symbolizes the life we actively create, the life that we shape towards our destiny through our choices and changes and personal growth that we go through. As our life experiences will shape the life that we create, how we respond to life stressors. This week, we've been talking about over facing our fears and addressing our traumas and dramas and glimmers, face to face, head on, right? Looking at reality, kind of chin checking ourselves and seeing where we are currently and how is that impacting us? How are we perceiving it? Fear has a way of making us either shy away, quit, um, or press on. And our message is always that the blessing is in the pressing. The blessing is in pressing through, growing through what you go through, um, as we live life on life terms. There's a lot of things in life that we have no control over, that we still have some control over some of the things, like our choices. How are we, the choices that we make, the decisions that we carry out, and the actions that we carry through, um, as well as the decision to grow through what we've going through, or to allow what we're going through to victimize us and play the victim role. But in 2024, we're coming out as the victor. We're no longer taking on the victim role. We're moving beyond our challenges. We're moving beyond life experiences, even if they are life altering changes that take place. Hold on one moment, guys. I'm going to try my best. I can't really roll my windows open, so it's not going to stop um, the noise. So hopefully you can hear me, as we're having a whole lot of things going on. It's nice and warm here in Camden City, New Jersey. And as you see, the windows are open, neighbors are out and enjoying life. So that's another circumstance that's beyond our control. But we're here together, and I appreciate your time. I'm going to try my best to work through this process as we are growing, learning, and healing, as we're winning in life and winning in business and loving what we do. Now, we wear two crowns: the crown, the one that's inherited through our DNA, through the family that in which we're born from. We're also looking at our second crown based off of the decisions that shape our destiny, the choices that we make, the changes that we decide that we go through, and the personal growth that we are growing through as we go through it. There are roles of currency in our lives, right? And although we know that not our lives are just not about money, but as a medium, um, it facilitates access to basic needs and our desires as it pertains to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, um, which emphasizes safety, shelter, protection. These things is what these are the things that we need: food, water. These are basic things. We shared this morning how um, through listening to uh, Myron Golden and how he shares about money and wealth, the meaning of it, and understanding your money and understanding money, period. What it's actually designed for. It's a currency that's supposed to flow, continuously move through from one person to the other, and how biblically God created the heavens and the earth was filled with treasures: gold, diamonds, things of that nature, coal, minerals. God gave us everything that we needed in the beginning with Adam and Eve. There was nothing for them to purchase. Their responsibility was to take care of it and to be obedient to God's law. However, as time goes on, uh, he points out how, as individuals, as human beings, money is the thing that we work for the longest, and it's the thing we worry about the most. And then we pretend that it's not important. So today we're no longer pretending that money is not important, because we know that it is the very thing that kind of keeps us going, moves us to live the life that we wish to 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 live the life that we wish to live and or create for ourselves, as well as it impacts our decisions and choices. If you have less funds, then you have less choices. If you have more funds, you have more choices as well as options. Now, both ways, less or more, you still have choices and options. Um, However, it's what you decide to do with those choices and options as you select them. Because God gave us hands, He gave us a brain, He gave us a body to be able to create many things. We are not like animals. We are humans, so we have different capabilities. We don't have animalistic tendencies or ways. We have the ability to communicate. We can speak. We can think. We can create things. Um, and through what it is that we can create, we can actually create something to generate income, right? So, as we're looking at the role of currency in our lives, and we know that um, it's essential for survival and comfort, it's not the sole determinant of happiness and fulfillment, because you should be happy in the life that you live. You should be happy with what you have currently with where you are. If you have a roof over your head, clothes on your back, food to eat, and a family that loves you, that's something to be cherished. That's something to be happy about and appreciate uh, in today's time in life as things are going, as we're moving the pendulum forward, right? Because we talk about being in the second quarter of 2024. We just finished the first 30 days of April, and we are now moving into the second 30 days. Welcome, hello, May. April showers bring May flowers. And as the May flowers are coming, we have an opportunity to change the direction of our lives, change the trajectory of our lives by simply making a simple decision. But first, we must be aware of who we are, where we are, and where it is that we wish to go. Now, I don't know if any of you have sat down and are actually taken the time to draw out a vision board or have a notebook where you're writing down your life aspirations, life goals. What are some of the things that you would like to do, have throughout this life? As you get one life, there's no do-overs. And we talked about how life is not a dress rehearsal. It's lights, camera, actions from the moment that you wake up. Um, you're on. You are the star of your own story. And being a star of your own story, where are you taking yourself? What role are you playing? Are you the driver of your car, or are you a passenger in your car? We hope that you all are drivers in your car. We know that um, when it comes to life and lifestyle and a holistic view, we really have to look at our financial life. Are we making the proper financial decisions that is going to sustain us over the long term periods of time? We talk about investing, not just into yourself, but investing wisely with your earnings that you earn, not just spending them, but actually investing them in places where you can put your money to work for you. And we give different options, and we talk about that. We also talk about the importance of doing an assessment to know where you are, knowing what your credit score is, knowing exactly where your money is going. Because a lot of times we may be budgeting or tracking our money, but there's some things that we're not tracking that we do on a daily basis that we don't even think about, like that coffee from Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts or a pack of cigarettes. What else? Little minor things. Those little things that we get: coffee, breakfast, lunch. Those little things we may not necessarily write down, right? But we have them we allocate them in our budget, so to speak. Gas money, maybe a tire blowing, things of that nature. So as we offer a holistic perspective on financial life as well as a lifestyle, we're highlighting this evening on how growth and development is necessity. It's a necessity towards change. If you don't know where the leaks and the holes and the gaps are, it's hard to fill them. If you have the mindset that you're going to go to work and you're going to build $1 million, there's a possibility because wealth is built in several different ways, um, but not solely through an income. Wealth can be built through investments, whether it's through stocks, bonds, mutual funds, CDs. And again, I encourage everyone that hears my voice to educate yourself. Look for Look at the company's perspective. We gave you some definitions on perspective if you join us on Monday evenings for Wealth Talk session in our Gain Financial Literacy and Win a Life group. We make sure that we try to break it down, so because we want to educate you as much as we can from our knowledge base as to what are some of your options when it comes to building wealth for yourself as well as your family. Uh, Going back to um, Miles Myron Golden, he speaks about how wealth generation, wealth generation, right, is not solely for us right now. It's really meant for us to generate wealth for generations to come well beyond us. And in order to do that, we have to really become really savvy and educated on finances. How does finance work? How does money work? How does investing work? And what are the different options to invest in? What are the protected, regulated investment options where if something, God forbid, something should happen, your investment is protected and you still can get your money. There's some unregulated investment options that kind of they're workable. Um, Learning a little bit about those as we're going, but you want to look at the company's perspective. You want to see how long they've been in business, how well have they managed and done over the years. You want to look at companies that have been in business for 3 years or longer, and see what their track record has been. Um, and if they've been sustainable, it doesn't mean that they're going to be sustainable every year, but it means that they fare out pretty well. And from my experience with the stock market and things, it may crash, but it always seems to bounce back, but you're never left without anything. So choosing the right financial vehicle to drive your wealth building in is important. But um, if you have a low financial report score, you're paying higher interest, which is limiting your buying power. And if you've never established any type of financial report, it's and you're just starting out, you want to be very mindful as to how you're starting out, and if you should select to get credit cards. First of all, make sure the credit cards that you're getting are important credit cards that you can kind of utilize in case of emergency if you need them. I'm not talking about department store credit cards, although they're nice, but you want a more secure card that you can use in case you decide want to become a homeowner one day and say you need a plumber to pay. That's one lesson I learned along the ways. And when it comes to credit cards, store credit is nice, and it is good in one sense, but then there's the actual real life living credit for real life emergencies. So you just want to pay attention to those things when you're selecting credit cards. And you want to make sure that you're keeping your credit utilization down less than 10%. So that means that if you purchase something on credit, you want to make sure that you can pay that off on the next pay cycle or the next statement cycle, as it's going to be reported and can impact your financial scores. Um, You want to make sure that you have some sort of discipline along with your financial education. Um, and you can learn this. It's not that we're born with it, because I know I wasn't born with it. And I know as I was going through adolescence and living with my parents, um, they didn't make that an an important part of the conversation. Finances, it was never hardly really discussed, although we were told to get up, once we got of age, to get a job, go to school, go to college, and get a job, right, so that you can take care of yourself, but not really explain like how we needed to take care of ourselves. We didn't discuss the importance of creating a savings at a young age, or even investing at a young age. Now that I have the foresight, I wish that someone would have told me earlier about investing, because I probably would have fared out a whole lot better when I became a teenage mom, um, if I would have invested earlier. However, nonetheless, whether you put the cart before the horse or not, you can still salvage your way, and begin to find your way to financial stability and security. Um, So it requires discipline. It requires financial education, learning about all the different parts of finances. It's about acquiring different types of assets. People can be rich on paper and have currency, but be cash flow broke. Or you can have currency and be rich on paper and have cash flow flowing. It's it's all in how you set everything up. So we want to make sure that you set yourself up right, but it's all based off of your dreams, your desires, your values, your morals, your ethics, and principle in which you operate your life from, in which you're going to be building and creating this lovely life that you want to live. Business is also another avenue in which you can create income. As so there's active income and there's passive income. There's residual income. There's liquid income. There's all different types, and you can go back to um, some of our previous channel entries, and you will see where we go over the different types of income, from wages, salaries, liquid, residual, earned, stocks and bonds, things of that nature. To go back and reiterate, but it's going to require discipline and financial education, and you have to mitigate and really foster a healthier relationship with your money. We don't want you to have any regrets. We want you to live your life and live it to the fullest. A lot of times, sometimes being conscious and intentional about your finances, how you're spending it, where is it going, keeping track of it, it can become kind of mundane, and you don't really feel like you're living a best life, but you really can. It's all in how you look at it. It's your life perspective, it's your mindset. Wealth is definitely a mindset. Wealth has a lot to do with your health. Somehow it's connected. The healthier you are, the more you're able to do and accomplish. Your body just operates in a different way. It functions in a different light, so to speak, than if you are ill health. And if you're not doing what you need to do to promote good health, then you're promoting ill health. And then ill health is going to create a whole lot of other issues as well: hospital bills, hospital visits, doctor's appointments, prescription drugs. So it behooves you to really take some care of your own personal health, eliminate the heart disease, eliminate the diabetes, eliminate a lot of these things that are killing us over the years. Mental health is real. We're in May. May is Mental Health Month. So we are partial to mental health, as we have experienced some things that, for the grace of God, has not, it's impacted us. However, it hasn't impacted us in a severe way. And so we're grateful for that. But we understand the importance of health and wellness and mental health, not just physical, but mental and spiritual health is important too. So make sure that you are taking care of all of those things for yourself, as you're growing, learning, and healing, and you're winning in life and winning in business. No matter what it is that you do, you deserve to live the best life that you can live. But it's based off of the choices and decisions that you make as you carry yourself through. Um, that leads us right on into, um, and the healthier you take it, the better you take care of yourself, the better you'll have a better relationship with your money as well. And that leads us right on into the emotional impact of financial statuses. So as we address the emotional roller coaster associated with different levels of financial stability, because it doesn't matter where you are, whether you're poor, rich, medium, middle class, whatever, it doesn't eliminate life happening on life terms. We are all going to go through something. We're all going to go through life changing experiences. What do they say? More money, more problems. So the more money you have, you just have more money, people problems, pretty much. But it doesn't. Where no one's exempt. Um, but it's all in how we set things up, how we are in our minds. If we don't want to worry about our money, we want to make sure that we're financially knowledgeable about our money and that we understand our money clearly and how to utilize it, what best ways to invest it, understand how credit works, because credit is not a bad thing. It is if you mismanage it, but if you manage it well and you manage your life well, then you can create financial stability. We all know the stress of living paycheck to paycheck. We all know that most of us is just a paycheck away from being in a bad situation, our own selves, and the anxieties that it can cause, as we're maintaining financial adequacy, right? And some of the unique pressures that come with wealth is this is the responsibility to track it, to make sure that you're actually not spending unnecessarily. Not saying you don't want to live the life. You're entitled to live the life that you want to live, but you want to live within your means. I find that less is definitely more, um, in aspects of building for long term. When you're building for long term and you're building wealth, right? Um, you want to start small and gradually build your way up. So that means that you have to be mindful. And if you're having to start an emergency savings account, what type of emergency savings account would you like to create? In which form? There is the regular banking account savings, that may not acquire too much interest. I think it's like 1% interest, the most that most regular bank savings accounts um, provide you. Although you want to keep your checking and savings account with the minimum balance so that you don't incur fees, but with keeping that minimum balance to handle your everyday living expenses, um, with the extra money that you're going to be putting to the side, you want to make sure that you're putting them into accounts that are going to grow you interest over time. And you want to get the best bang for your buck. So make sure you do your research, ladies and gentlemen. Sit down with a financial advisor and have them go over all your different options, or do your research on your own. I mean, we have the internet and all that stuff is there for you to kind of look it up yourself to see what are the best rates, interest rates on different money market accounts, seed certificate deposits, mutual funds, and things of that nature. If you're into cryptocurrency, then you want to learn about cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is rather new to me. I don't know that much about it, although I see that it does do pretty good. So if you want to kind of diversify and go across the board with everything, you want to put a little bit of money over there as well, but not too much. You don't want to go too deep into that because that's unregulated, and we don't really know where that's going to go with that so far. But those that are a part of it do see some benefits. So That's part of our holistic perspective on financial life and lifestyle, looking at the emotional impact from living paycheck to paycheck, because you don't have to live paycheck to paycheck if you start out um, paying yourself first, putting your money in places where your money can grow for you, even starting as little as $25. If not in a regular banking account, then possibly in a credit union account. Um, which is sometimes better on different rates as far as loans and things of that nature when you're if you're preparing to save for a home or things of that nature. We want to look at the inner self and our whole overall financial outlook. I know when I was growing up younger, I didn't really have a concept of money outside of the fact that I knew I had to work for it. And when I got it, I just pretty much spent it. And because I was a young mother, I didn't get a chance to really kind of go run wild and do the things that most normal young teenagers get to do, live your life, travel, different things of that nature. I was a parent, so a lot of my money went towards taking care of the children, things that provide for them. And then when I decided to move out, I had to learn how to pay bills. I had to learn how to pay rent, pay the utilities, figure out transportation, figure out babysitting costs. And I did a bang up job of it, but I eventually got it all together. A lot of times I just was blessed to be able to stay home with my children, thanks to government assistance, TANF, to just be a mom. And when I was able to go back to work, I went back to work. And then just kind of just built from there. But I was blessed to have someone along the way, different individuals to share with me. My uncle, I believe I shared this story before, that told me to invest in whatever company I work with. If they offer you shares, to invest in the shares. If they offer you a 401k, invest in the 401k. All these things would benefit, and which they did down the line, but I didn't understand the whole thing about shares. So I kind of missed out on some things that I invested in. Um, Due to lack of financial knowledge and not having the knowledge on the particular things that I had invested in. So this is why I stress the importance to you to really take the time and educate yourself on financial literacy, understand how finances work and how it can benefit you in the long run. Um, when we talk about inner self and financial outlook, we're looking into we're diving deeper into how our inner beliefs, behaviors, and perspectives influence our financial decisions. Having a lack of financial knowledge and an understanding of how actually money works, how credit works, how you can actually build wealth, having a concept that maybe not having little to no concept of money, or the concept of money that it is that you work for it, and the more you work, the more you can get. But in all actuality, the more you work, the more they tax, the less you bring home, right? So you learn that over time, learning how to invest in the right manners, um, starting something new. Um, we oftentimes, I know, coming up for me, the inner self and financial outlook was, I'll work two jobs to take care of the children, but two jobs is for two peoples, and working two jobs doesn't really help you be the best parent that you can be if you're a single parent. Looking at different business options, not really certain or feeling confident that maybe business is for you. Are you a business type person? I mean, it's not for everybody, but today there's different types of businesses. There's different ways to start up businesses at low costs at a low cost to you, and you can always join in partnership with another company or go underneath a consortium to help you build your business if you do not want to go at it alone and become a full-blown entrepreneur business person. But there's different options today to make money. Going to work is not just the sole option, but it is the beginning one. I'll tell you from the beginning, I love my investment company. I did while I was working. They invested in me. I would go to work for them, do their job. They paid me a paycheck. With that paycheck, those earnings, I invested in myself as well as invested in home-based business opportunity, which I get the pleasure to come to you every Wednesday and talk about. And next Wednesday, when we come together, that's going to be our topic series moving forward for the rest of the month of May. Um, Launching a successful home-based business. So I hope to not only, hopefully, I'll get my camera issue fixed. I hope to. I don't know. I'm gonna see if I can come live to you from another way. I keep coming from the computer. Maybe I'll try it from my iPad. It may work a little better that way. You got to try different things so we can get this together. Um, as we're getting it together, but that's what we're going to be talking about. So this is why we're talking about finances. And if you're following me on Facebook, the different pages that I have, you'll see that this week we've really delved into, you know, financial education preparedness, because whether you're in business or not, you want to be financially stable. That's how, if you decided you want to start a family, that's the basis line of it, to make sure that you're financially stable. You don't want to bring little people into the world and you're struggling. I know I did it. You can do it, and you can get better at it. But why do that when you have all the resources? There's so much information out here today on financial literacy education. And if you would like to learn more, I invite you to join us on Mondays in our Gain Financial Literacy Winning Life Facebook group. And at some point, I like to bring information so that I can open it up to others outside of the private Facebook group, so that we can all come together as a group, and just I can share the information that I have with you, um, and leave the option up to you. I'm just here to share information, share my experience, share my knowledge over the time that I've lived, and the things that I've discovered. And it's up to you to decide what's for you. I'm not here to help. I'm not here to make you make a choice. I'm here to share with you options, to educate you on becoming a holistic person. Before you join yourself with someone else, you want to be whole as an individual. You want to be aware of who you are. You want to know who you are, what it is that you want out of life, and where you're going. And guess what? When you're 17, 18, 19, 20, probably all the way up to 30. I don't think all the dots really connected for me till I got like 40. So if you are young and it's not connecting the dots just yet, don't worry about it. Don't beat yourself up. It's okay. You have time. The thing is, learn and acquire what you can, implement what you can, so that you can begin to see the difference start to manifest into your life. You'll see it. Gather whatever information that you can and enjoy your life. You only get one. So enjoy it to the fullest. But we want to help prepare you as best we can. And our inner beliefs plays a big role on that. How we see life, how we perceive life. Are we going through life as the victim of life? Is everything happening to us? Is people doing things to us? Is it their fault? Or are things happening to us for us to change the trajectory or the path that we're on? Are things, it's not so much that, are the people that are rejecting you or not accepting you, are they pushing you to go towards another door that is open for you, that you possibly may not have seen if they did not reject you, right? That can change the whole trajectory of your life. Um, the behaviors, the choices that we make, how we respond to life experiences, life trauma. Respect seems to be a big thing with a lot of people. And I notice a lot of young people feel disrespected instantaneously, and I'm trying to figure it out. I lived a long time, and I don't know. Maybe it's just the way my mindset works. Um, I know that I can't control anyone else but myself. So I can't control what someone else thinks about me. I can't control what someone else says about me. I can't control how another person feels about me. Only thing I can do is control all those things about how I feel, about what I think about myself, how I feel about myself, how I see myself and how I carry myself. So I'm responsible for myself. So I promote self sufficiency all the time because you were born alone and you're going to die alone. So if you can take care of yourself, believe me, if you decide to help someone else, you'll be better at helping someone else because you already have a well-oiled machine system for yourself in which you operate to maintain your living. And it's not very easy. It takes practice. It's something that you have to be intentional about taking the steps to do. Um, you can't be willy-nilly. You have to pay attention to where um, to how your life is going. That's your finances, your health, um, your physical being, your spirituality. You have to really hone into it because not paying attention to it is costly too. And you don't want to pay. Either way, you're going to pay a price, but why not pay the price that's going to benefit you and help you grow and thrive, than take something away from you. Your life perspective. Your life perspective is going to influence. It's going to influence how you look at your financial decisions and overall satisfaction with your life. Like I said, for 2024, we are no longer walking in the victimhood mentality. We are victors. We can overcome any challenge that comes our way. We might have to cry through it, crawl through it, um, sleep through it, go to counseling through it, work some steps, acquire some skills, some coping skills, and get some tools. We might even have to change the whole projective of our life, move away from people, places, and things in order to put ourselves in a new place, surround ourselves with new people and new things for us to grow. Um, so we want to encourage participants to reflect on their financial attitudes and how they align with their life values and your life goals. Is what you're doing right now, does it align with your values and your goals? Is it leading you down a path of where you say it is that you want to be? Whether you can see it or not. And most times, if you're young, you don't see 10, 20, 30 years ahead. You can only see what's right in front of you, but you want to be preparing for 20, 30, 40 years ahead. And the better you do that, the earlier you do that, the better prepared you're going to be in those times when it comes. So I encourage you to do some self work, do the hard work. Sometimes the hard work is the hardest work because sometimes we have to use the scissors of love with those that we really do love, that may not be serving us in the best manner. It doesn't mean that they don't love us. Sometimes they don't know how to love us, or they don't respect where we are. Some people see you in one light, they can never see you in another light, and that's okay. You just leave them where they are. It doesn't mean you have to use harmful words or anything like that. It just means that I love you, but I'm gonna love you with a long handle spoon. I'm gonna love you from over here, and I'm gonna be over here. Because family over everything is something. It's something that we not only say, it's really something that we do, because we know that as a family we go through different families go through different family dynamics too. There's different levels of family. There's the nucleus family, there's the extended family, then there's the community family. And depending upon how close knit the family is, when things happen, whether we're on several parts of the world, it doesn't matter where you're at. If something happens, especially mostly to the matriarch, if the matriarch or the patriarch seems to fall down, that's something that brings everyone together. And we have to work with each other. That's where we put our differences aside and we focus on the care and love of the matriarch and the patriarch, because that's what they did for us in order for us to be who we are. So that requires you to have a certain level of maturity to be able to move beyond some of the things that can kind of get in the way, um, as we're living this life. So if where you are in your life right now is not aligned with your values and goals, and you're getting a different outcome, Maybe you might want to think about coming at it a different way. Maybe you might want to educate yourself a little bit more on understanding how your money works and how you can put your money to work for you. What are some of the options and opportunities that may be available to you that maybe you're not taking advantage of, that could put you in a better position for later? Like I said, everything we do here at Winning Life, Winning Business, and Love What You Do, we're talking long term. We're not talking about anything that's going to happen right now. So if you're looking for instant gratification, we're not the community for you, because nothing we do happens instantly. Everything we do is like plant in the garden. It's like buying a house, an empty shell, and then you go inside and you got to put up the walls. You might have to tear some walls down. We're putting in toilets, we're putting in floors, we're putting in piping. So I want you to look at it that way. We are into construction, ladies and gentlemen. We are building here. We are building a community of strong families. We're building sustainability. We're building love, respect, and families for long term. Um, and I can't stress that enough. But it begins with you. It begins with one individual. Each one teach one. Who is going to be the leader in your family? Will it be you that will step into that position and begin to start gathering the information that you need to help make your family circle better? Um, they say that you are the sum of the five people that you hang around. So look at the people that you're hanging around. Where are they going? What are they doing? And are you the next one to be doing what they're doing? And if it's not looking too cool, what they're doing and where they're going, you might want to kind of shift a little bit. It's okay. And I know shifting out of certain groups sometimes is not always easy. As easy as said is done, but you have to find a way to separate yourself. One thing for sure, that building that relationship with God and talking to Him and getting in your word and reading it and understanding, that to me throughout my life has proven to be an armor of protection to protect me and help shift me and guide me from circles that I didn't belong in, um, and led me here. So as we're preparing for the future and we're looking at financial literacy and planning for our lives, we want to look at the present financial literacy and planning as crucial tools for building a secure and desirable future. We want you to discuss different types of currency, okay? Because there are different types of currency, and I kind of went over that a little bit oh, um, earlier, but I suggested you go back a couple videos. I don't know, I made it up to like 130 some, I think, videos now, or 127 videos. I'm not sure, but the number's getting up there. So I can't quite call which video it is, but if you go back, you'll look. We have one on the different types of currency: wages, salary, earnings, residual income, things of that nature, and I break it down for you. Um, there's monetary, there's social and emotional currency as well. You want to make sure that your social and emotional currency is in good health, in a good state. That your mind is in the right place, because what's the sense in having all the wealth in the world and you don't lost your mind? I'm sure there's a biblical text that goes to that, but I can't think of it right now off the top of my head. And you want to think about how you can leverage to overcome life challenges, because life is going to happen, and you got to be able to kind of roll with the punches even when it's tough. Because I shared this morning how sometimes, the post said, who takes off from their business? Who takes off from their business? No one that does not have someone or the staff or the systems in place that can replace them, right? Or do what they need to do. So, as a new entrepreneur, you know that you are going to be running a show. You're going to be doing a lot of things in the beginning. This is going to help build your knowledge base. This is going to help you to understand when you do hire someone exactly how long it takes them to do something because you've already done it. Um, so you'll know if they're doing it or not. That's important. But that's a whole nother segment, and we'll get into that. And hopefully, we can bring in some resource, some good leaders that can kind of explain that to you, or we'll invite you to come in to some free workshops for you to to get more information, depending upon where you are, whatever you're ready for. Um, as um, we begin to wrap this up, look. We want to conclude with practical advice for improving financial health, such as lowering debt income ratios, saving, investing, and planning. Planning is very important. Preparing ahead of time, so that you may not foresee some of life things that may happen. But if you start planning those seeds today, they will grow for you and in that time, and they may be the shade that you need in that time. So we want to emphasize the mission of of educating 1 million families on financial literacy, empowering them to build better financial portfolios as well as their lifestyles, ladies and gentlemen. Um, so what we want you to walk away with today is we want you to view financial literacy not just as a tool for economic security, but as a stepping stone towards realizing your own potential and crafting a life that reflects your deepest values and aspirations, because it's going to be you that's going to do it. Um, Take the time to get to know yourself, because you're gonna be spending a lot of time with yourself. Um, it's gonna be you against you, nobody else. There's no competition here. The only thing we ask is that you become a better person than the person that you were the day before. We ask that you show up. We ask that you show up for yourself. We ask that you become active in your own life and your own life planning and moving the needle forward for you, um, because it's all about self-sufficiency. It's all about each one teach one. If you teach, if you go fishing and you give a man a fish, you teach him nothing. You just teach him to depend and wait on you to come back with another fish. But if you take that same man and you take him with you and you provide him a fishing rod and you teach him how to fish, then this man can also go and fish right along with you and gather his own fish to feed himself as well as his family. And that's the concept of winning life, winning business, and know what you do here. We want to teach you how to fish. We want to teach you how to build a better, stronger, sustainable, loving, communicative family. That's the foundation. We already know that the family is the cornerstone of America. Without us and counting on each other, what do we have? We don't really have much. So, in honor of families, and with this May being Mother's Day, we're going to honor those that bring life forth, right? And we're going to honor them by looking at our own lives, seeing where we are, looking at where it is that we want to go. And we're going to start getting our business in order, putting things together so that the next generation will not have to struggle. And if you think you're struggling now, just imagine what our children, grandchildren, great grandchildren will have to deal with if we fail to prepare for them in the future today. And teach them along the way. Not just prepare, but teach them. Because if we don't teach them, they're going to fudge it all up, and what we're working towards will be in vain. And we don't want to do that. We want to teach them as we're working towards and building them. And the best way to teach our young people is to include them into what it is that we're doing. So we're coming on 7:57. We made the hour, and again, my apologies for the no screen. But hopefully, you guys were able to hear me. And please feel free, if any of this resonates with you, drop a comment in the comment box. For those that took the time to spend this hour with me, I appreciate you and I appreciate your time, because your time is the one thing that I can never give back to you. But I hope that we had some valuable moments here this evening. So I hope to see you on next Wednesday when we come back for Winning Life, Winning Business, and Love What You Do, as we talk about the launching of a successful business. And then we're going to go into the journey of how I actually got started with all of this and give you a little insight on all the things that we have going on here at Winning Life and Winning Business. And if you care to participate and join in, feel free, reach out to us. We'll be happy to get you onboarded, get you set up. Um, we're quite diverse. We don't just talk about diversification in our financial portfolio. We talk about diversification in our lives as well, and how we go about creating an income. So, with that being said, have a wonderful, blessed, amazing evening. I want you to know that you are a winner from the time you were received in your mother's womb. And when you were born with all that you need to make your life a success. God gave us the power to make a decision. He gave us the freedom of choice. So make sure that you choose wisely as you're going about your day. Finish out the rest of this week, and happy May, everybody. And I'll see you guys next week. We made it. We made it through another day. Thank you, God, for that. Tomorrow's Grateful Thursday. So I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a blessed, amazing week. Bye bye.